Getting my smoker going again. So I'm at one of my out yards today. I've got a few colonies out here that need to be checked. Expecting pretty standard stuff from most of them. But one of them was queenless 2 weeks ago, so I'm expecting them to have a new queen today. I'll check them first and see what we got inside. So this one was queenless last week. It's pretty quiet this morning, but it also just rained. And it's about 8:30, a little bit early. Got some activity, or at least bees that are alive. That's good. Alive bees are good things. All right. See how the bees are all clustered up right here? If there's a new queen, I'm gonna guess that she's somewhere in here because that's where they're all clustered right now. I'm gonna take out a frame on this end to give me some space to work with. Empty of anything besides a few bees. Now I have room to work. I made the space of a frame. So let's get in here and see what's going on. All right. So check this out. There's 2 queen cells right there that have not hatched yet. I put a couple of frames of fresh eggs in here, which is what what the bees will do when they have fresh eggs and no queen, is they'll make queen cells like these right here. And they'll feed those eggs a diet that is special for queen making, queen rearing. And they'll make a new queen out of an egg that would have normally just turned into a worker. They feed it a special diet and they get a queen out of it. Now we'll look around, we'll see if there's any more queen cells. Yep, there's another one right here. Right here. Now these girls are going to be hatching really like any day. I put these fresh eggs in here 2 weeks ago today, and it takes 16 days for a queen to hatch. So any day now they'll be due. So that's good. They've got 3 queen cells going here. Now what's going to happen is one of these queens is going to hatch first. Typically what happens is she will go and find the other queen cells and either sting them to death, or if they kind of are hatching simultaneously, then they will fight to the death. See what we got going on here, just a bunch of clustering bees. Another thing I'm noticing is that there's just not a lot of food stores in here, not a lot of honey. So I'm going to take some honey from another cell and put in here. They could probably use some. Another thing that I'm noticing as I'm working through here is they are, their behavior. These are a bit, I don't want to say frantic, but they are getting a bit noisy right now. They're not aggressive yet, but they're just kind of buzzing around, not storing food, not working in a super coordinated way, which is common whenever you start to, when you don't have a queen, they start behaving differently. And so, I'm not surprised by the way they're behaving, but I'm excited for them to get a new queen soon. I do foundationless frames, which means there's no wax here in the center at all for them to build off of. They build their own wax out. I'm going to shake these bees off so you can see what I'm talking about. This is a little chunk of wax that they built out. They'll just keep building out on this more and more and more, and eventually they'll fill in this whole frame with wax that they make. They make the wax from, they have glands on their body that secrete wax, but they have to have a food source to be able to make the wax. So they go get nectar. They use nectar to make honey. They also use nectar to secrete wax. Now I have a top super on here. Let me see if there's any, they have any food stores in here. They don't really need this second box because they are there's not enough bees in here to need a second box. They just end up having to defend more space that they don't need to be defending. And when I say defending, I mean from other bees or other pests. It's just extra work that they don't need to have to do. And they're more likely to. There's some pollen, which they could be using. I'll take one of these empty frames that has nothing on it and move some of this food down low. I'll also take one of these empty frames here